What's going on, y'all? My name is Cree. I have a webcam, I have a microphone, I have 0 event tops, and I have some ban list wishes to make. Alright, so as y'all can see here, I have compiled a list of cards that I think either need to be addressed or are cards that people in general are addressing. So we're gonna we're gonna talk about this in order. Starting with the bans, I'm actually gonna be banning Shifter and Lancia. So the reason I'm banning both is because, well, one, Shifter, I've defended this card for a while, but I think the time has come for it to go. Lancia has also sort of done things in the same vein where it's like, I don't like cards that lock entire decks out of the game, and now that we have decks like Malice and Kashira and stuff like that, that really take advantage of the banish pile, where other decks like can't do it. I think it's far too one-sided, and then getting Lancia dropped on your deck that has banishment in its strategy is also not very fun. So Lancia and Shifter are both going to go here. Up next, we have Moulin Glacia. Sort of the same thought process. I don't think decks should be able to just outright search hand rip cards, which is what Mermail can do. I think it's probably one of the most toxic parts of that deck is being able to search a 2-ripper. Minstrel is fine in my opinion because at least it comes back to your hand during the end phase, so it's not like permanently gone, but it's still pretty annoying. But I think if we're getting rid of Moulin Glacia, we can let Minstrel go, just because Moulin Glacia, in my opinion, is really the most problematic part of it. That's it for the monsters that we're banning from the main deck. Up next, we're going to ban Goldsark. This is the big Malice hit. Again, too many cards, too many banishment strategies that are proving to be a bit more than the game would probably like to have to handle. And from a player standpoint, it kind of sucks when you imperm the Dormouse or the White Binder or White Rabbit, and they just rip the Goldsark off the top, and then all of a sudden all your work is for naught. Up next, Terraforming. I think it's time that we get rid of Terraforming. Having a 4th copy of your field spell is a little too consistent in a deck of 40 cards, and field spells in general are just becoming way too powerful for this card to remain, even at 1, in my opinion. I think getting rid of it at this point in the game is fine. And then the only trap card I'm banning is going to be D-Barrier. Same reason as Shifter and Lancia. I think basically turn skipping lingering effects should, like in modern Yu-Gi-Oh!, because of the pace of the game, I don't think these things really have a place in the game. So D-Barrier, gotta go. Alright, so on to extra deck stuff. I'm banning Dweller. We're taking a page out of the OCG book. Banning Dweller just because, again, long-term lingering floodgates. Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't think I need to explain it any further. Then we're also going to be banning Toad. Toad, granted, it is another Mermail hit, but it's also just a way to future-proof Bahamut Shark a little bit more, because I think Bahamut Shark is a really cool concept as a card to have, but I think Toad being as easily spammable as it has been, like anytime this thing rotates in, it's one of the most annoying Omni Negates, and I think the less Omni Negates we have in the game, the better it's going to feel. Next card I'm banning, went a little bit out of order here, is going to be DDD Wave King Caesar, because, you know, the Fiendsmith package makes it so this thing is really easy to beam out, and then just stopping special summoning for borderline no reason, not once per turn, by the way. It's a little toxic, so we're just going to get rid of that end board piece to make the game a little more fun to play. Up next, I have some Link ban, or actually no, there's one more ban. I'm banning Eclipse Winds, because Eclipse Winds is kind of the thing that's putting Ryzeal over the top, and since it was just a super rare in the recent set, I think that was a sign from Konami that, hey, we know how powerful this card is, so we're probably getting rid of it. I think we should get rid of it. I think Ryzeal becomes a lot more fair with Eclipse Winds gone. You can use aggregators all you want, but Eclipse Winds being able to out your conventional ways of outing the Ryzeal end board is a bit much, in my opinion. Alright, up next, I know you guys noticed that Magnamut's down here, but we didn't ban it. That's because I'm actually going to be banning Heretic Seal instead. So, the reason I'm banning Seal is because of the whole meme of Seal's pass, but Seal is also the thing that gets you into any dragon monster from your main deck, and I think that's one of the reasons why Magnemut's so strong. So I think by getting rid of Seal, you kind of put Magnemut properly in the limited to one space, where it's you just see it in your opening hand or you don't. Therefore, you don't have Heretic Seal to cheat you into the mag to get to the Druid's Worm, to all of a sudden you have a rank 6 on the board, or you just have 2 bodies. And plus, this is kind of an indirect hit to Blue Eyes. Granted, I don't think that deck's much of a problem yet. But again, Heretic Seals pass, sort of a meme, but this way we're kind of getting rid of the toxic bestial interaction with it, and then we're just getting rid of some like a cheat out from deck, basically. So, Heretic Seals, you're gone. Up next, banning Link Decoder. This is another Malice hit to go on with Goldsark. If you've seen any Malice combo, you know how strong Decoder is. I don't think I need to explain why this thing has to go. And then up next, we have Nightmare Griffin. Again, out of order. Nightmare Griffin has probably overstayed its welcome at this point in the game. And I think this time it rests solely on the shoulders of a Bao Q as to why we're getting rid of Griffin. But I think everybody watching can agree that if we ban Griffin, that's fine. We'll take it. Get it out of the game. So that's it for the bans. As far as the limits go, we're going to scoot Magnemut out of here. I am limiting Druid's Worm and Baldrake just because, again, Sins of Malice and the Bestials are a bit strong. So let's be honest, guys. Druid's Worm and Baldrake should be joining Magnemut because a DD Crow with a 2500 body on the board is a bit much. Alright. Up next, Extraziel. I know that you guys are going to freak out because Ryziel is going to go from having like, what, 12 starters? I guess, yeah, 12 starters to, oh no, you have 10. But let's be real, guys. Extraziel, it's a starter, it's a board breaker, it's an extender. Like, just put it to 1. Just put it to 1 and be done with it. It's arguably one of the most powerful main deck Ryziel monsters. Ice we're going to leave alone because if we're putting X to 1, they could probably just chill with how many Ice Ryziels they have. Up next, Engraver. Engraver to 1. Yeah, it was either this or ban Requiem, which we are not going to be doing. So, Engraver to 1, I think it's fine for now. Like, if we're gutting the Wave Kai King Caesar and putting Engraver to 1, I think we can live with that. Like, see the Engraver, make the Closed Moon, whatever. You can have your Daiserai, but let's not open the tract after already going into the Necro Quip. You know what I mean? So, Engraver to 1 should be fine. Up next, I'm putting Unicorn and Fenrir to 1. Mainly because I think for what they are, they're just a little too strong, a little too overtuned. And I think we're at the stage where they can definitely go to 1, just because they're kind of like a default engine. We saw that Kashira Fiendsmith pile doing things earlier, way earlier in the format. But I think these guys are fine to go to 1, just because, again, a little splashable. They have a very high floor for a lot of these higher ceiling decks that, like, putting these in to patch up the pieces of what we're getting rid of might be a bit much, so I'm just going to put them at 1 just to kind of pull the rug out from under you guys there. Onto the spells, we're limiting Allure, we're limiting Bonfire. So, Allure is another Malice hit. As you can see, I'm not hitting any of the Malice main deck monsters yet. Bonfire to 1, 7 Tachyons coming, and Rhoda's at 1 anyway, so just like put it to 1. Silent Mining could have joined the fray here, but I didn't think it was necessary yet, especially if we're putting Allure to 1, so those are your Malice hits. And then for the fun one, I'm bringing back Heavy Storm. Bring back Heavy Storm. Bring back Heavy Storm. We need more back row hit. Let's be real. It's main deckable back row hit, so let's bring it back. And then we're also going to be hitting the Triple Tactic series. So, Thrust to 1, because it just manifests any normal spell or trap. I don't think that's healthy. Granted, your opponent has to play into it, but being able to manifest a board breaker, being essentially being able to side 3 thrusts and then 1 copy of every other generic spell and trap card board breaker going second is a bit much. However, I think 1 thrust and then having to side like 2 or 3 of each, probably fine. Talents, Talents just does a little bit too much. Like, if you get Ash and then new Talents, looking at your opponent's hand and shuffling one back, that's way too strong for modern Yu-Gi-Oh standards. Like, if it didn't have that middle effect, it probably could have stayed. But since it has that middle effect, we're just going to put it to 1. Let it be a sat card like Called by the Grave, whatever. That's fine, however you feel about it. But being able to lay these in multiples is kind of cracked. Alright, now on to the semi-limits. I'm going to be putting Dormouse to 2. Just a slight consistency hit, because let's be real, this and White Rabbit are your only starters. You still have way less starters than Ryziel does, and you have less Beastials. But I think putting Dormouse to 1 is like way too heavy-handed of a hit for right now. But we'll see if I'm proven wrong later. And then we're also going to be... Oh, not the dangers. Also going to be putting Change of Heart and Cross Out. Oh, wait, that's that. Putting Change of Heart and Cross Out to 2. Change of Heart does nothing at 1. Talents is going to be going to 1, so we're going to bump Change of Heart to 2 before we put it to 3, because that's just custom at this point. Crossout we're going to put to 2 just because as much as we need counterplay to hand traps, I feel like hand traps need to be able to do stuff, and being able to just circumvent them with things like Call by the Grave and Crossout are a bit much. But we're just going to put Crossout to 2 for now, just because the punish of Crossout is you have to play the exact same hand traps, so you can't use Crossout for like really niche hand traps unless you sense they're coming and board them in. But that, if you're 5-head like that, you're 5-head like that, you know. Next. That grass looks greener. Zodiac Barrage. They're doing nothing at 1. Why not? Just put them to 2. Clear space off the ban list. And then, speaking of clearing space off the ban list, Cyberjar, the Dangers, Ava, and Monkey Board are going to stay at 2. Exciton. This is something that people proposed hitting to smack the Ryziel engine. The Fiendsmith Ryziel engine, I should say. But I don't think it's really that necessary, so it's fine. Requiem, we're going to keep it at 3 because you're either putting this at 1 or you're banning it, and I don't think we need to ban Requiem yet. Moon in the Close Heaven, same deal. And then Snatch Steal, we're going to put it to 3 because unlike Change of Heart, it's not recruitable like Thrust. You have to hard draw, and I just think it's funny. Alright, so for those of you guys skipping to the end of the video, this is my ban list wish list, not prediction, wish list. These are the changes I'm proposing. So, like the video if you found today's content entertaining, or if you just find it something funny to react to and laugh at. Comment down below anything you agree or disagree with, anything you would have liked to see added or taken off. Subscribe if you have not already, and as always, until next time, have a good time.